After everybody spectacularly keeping to time all day, I now get to try and keep myself to time, so I hope I don't fail miserably. So as I said, I'm Director of Data Science Academic Programs. I had a hard time deciding what to talk about today because there's so many exciting data science and big data related research activities going on in SOIC. I decided to choose this one, transforming pharmaceutical and healthcare companies into data companies, for two reasons. One is, it's kind of part of my research area, and professors love talking about their own things rather than other people's things. But more importantly, I think it illustrates something that really excites me, which is being able to have really creative partnerships between academia and industry and startups and states and non-profit institutions. And we really actually cover all of these in this project. You see on the collaborator list here, collaborators include Eli Lilly Data Discovery, which is a spin-off company from the School of Informatics and Computing, which is able to commercialize some of the technologies we've developed in the school. Indiana CTSI, the Clinical and Translational Sciences Institute, nationally NIH NCAT. It's also a project we can really see impact in Indiana, which is also something that excites me. So this is all about data-driven healthcare, and you'll heard lots of people talking about this from lots of different perspectives, from the highly scientific through to the payer model and Obamacare and the way that the system for reimbursement is changing. But what we're really excited about here is what does it look like when healthcare becomes entirely data-driven? Many companies are turning into data companies. Traditional blue chip companies are now data companies, and this is happening quite rapidly in healthcare. So when we have data-driven healthcare, really we have a lot of different kind of resources and players all revolving around a pretty simple question. That's for any individual: how can I stay healthy and get better when I do get sick? It's really quite simple. But the actual implementation of that is quite complicated and involves everything from pharmaceutical research, which is how we intervene, healthcare delivery, how we deliver healthcare and also help people get well, and also public health, all the research that gets done and all the data sets that get made available about why people are healthy, why they're sick, environmental factors, and so on. So all these need to come together, and we're seeing a lot of new disciplines popping up, both in industry and academia revolving around that. Two big ones in Indiana, precision medicine, and in companies like Eli Lilly, real-world evidence. But also things like nudge economics, combination therapies, what's called phenotypic drug discovery, kind of jumping between the kind of molecular right the way to the patient, quantified self-data from Fitbits and so on. So this is all really exciting, but that's not really where we are right now. This is kind of where we are right now, and structurally it's very different. It's very siloed and not data-driven. So we have a real separation between pharmaceutical research, which is about having artificial interventions, healthcare delivery, which is about diagnoses and treatment plans, and public health, which is about looking at large-scale factors affecting health of populations. They do kind of work together, but in a kind of point-wise way right now. What we're looking at is how we can break down those silos and break down those silos from a data point of view and start bringing the data sets of these different domains together to actually enable data-driven research. We're starting in pharmaceutical research and working our way out from here quite rapidly, partly because I used to work in pharmaceutical industry, and partly it's kind of, in some ways, the hardest problem to solve, because molecular data and relating molecular data to humans is, effects on patients and so on, is really complicated. Us human beings are really very, very complicated and pretty amazing, really. This involves a study of chemistry and biology overlapping with the study of people, interestingly. So we haven't cracked it yet, but I just want to illustrate two things that we have done. One is what's been a really great partnership involving multiple players, including something called OpenFacts, which is a big EU initiative to bring together data sets for pharmaceutical research, the NIH, NCAT's National Center for Advancing Translational Sciences, and pharmaceutical companies, including Eli Lilly. There was a really good piece of this that came from Lilly actually running these phenotypic screens on 2,500 marketed drugs that NCATS provided, and we made all the data public, and we made it in a harvestable way that we can map it into all kinds of other data sets. And we've now started using this, for example, looking for drug repurposing for TB. So this is super exciting. It's a really fantastic. I can't claim credit for starting this one. It started with a discussion between Eli Lilly and NCATS, and then we were brought into it. Another thing we've been doing, which has been a really great kind of working together of the company data to discovery with IU and with other partners, including OpenFact, which has been to kind of prototype what a data-driven pharmaceutical company would look like and how that differs from what we have today. So, for instance, we've started building linked data ecosystems that break down the traditional SQL database silos, enable you to not just do queries, but find associations that will go right the way from molecular data through clinical data and even into marketed data. Computational infrastructures based on all the big stack of Spark and cloud computing let us do really advanced association mining and network calculation on those mapped linked data sets. And then, importantly, interfaces that actually solve real-world problems. So we're right now kind of prototyping this infrastructure. So quickly, what's next? We're starting to work with a wider range of players in Indiana, including the people who can provide electronic medical records, iHi, BioCrossroads, which is kind of a glue organization, the state, Reagan Streif Institute, School of Medicine. This is in the development stage. We're looking about answering real critical questions about health and drug treatment that can use these linked data infrastructures that go right the way from molecule to you. Thank you.